Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for the invite. For the one that may know or may not know, I was asked to come here as a representative of Bombardier. I'm far from being a marketing guy. I'm far from being a speaker guy. But I lived for 10 years in Northern Ontario and a little bit west in Sudbury. So I used to work for VRL. I worked for VRL from 1998 to 2004. And in 2004, I decided to quit my job and started a job as a consultant. And my main goal when I started my job as a consultant was to bring back the passenger rail in the Northern Ontario. So I've been very involved, and I'm glad to be here. So let's move along. So we'll do a quick introduction on hello. Sorry. Down. Okay, there we go. I said I was to mix it up. So we'll go quickly. I just want to give a little bit of who we are as a Bombardier, what we do in transportation, and we'll end the presentation on talking about the evolution of mobility and the hope that we have, because I think that the rail transportation is moving at a very, very fast pace. There is a lot of different ways to save money right now in the operation of the railroad, so we'll cover that a little bit. So who we are, we're a worldwide company. We have 69,500 employees over the world in 22 countries. And we have, as of December 31st, 2017, we posted a revenue of $16.2 billion US. So the evolution of Bombardier, a lot of you may know, we started as a snowmobile company, the Ski-Doo. And in 1974 through 85, we took a leap of faith and we moved to the rail transportation, then expanded to the aerospace industry, and we started doing strategic acquisition, and more recently we're really into the mobility technology with the high-speed train and the C-Series that everyone has heard about, and all that good stuff. So we're shaping the evolution of mobility. Our growth strategy really is investing in leading mobility solution. We have tons of engineers that are working on improving the technology, find a new way to operate the rail, to operate the transportation, the mobility for cheaper. We're growing the local routes in key markets, and we really have an objective to achieve flawless execution. And in terms of our competitive foundation, we're great talent globally, strong financial discipline, active risk management, and integrated sustainability. So the overview on Bombardier Transport, the revenue we're at 8.5 billion, order backlog at 34 billion, and we have 39,000 employees, just a little bit more, just about 40,000 employees in the transportation industry. On the business aircraft, we're $5 billion US revenue, 14 billion US backlog, and we have 10,200 employees. On the Bombardier commercial aircraft, it's 2.4 billion US, 430 units backlog, and 5,125 employees. And we also have a division that is Bombardier Restructures and Engineering Services, where we have 1.6 billion US, 87 million backlog, and 10,000 employees. So that covers a little bit of who we are as a Bombardier. Our footprint is really between Canada, 33%, and Europe, 43%, 10% in US. And in terms of revenue share, 35% of our revenue is in North America, 46% in Europe. So let's talk about Bombardier Transportation. So we're a global leader in rail technology. We offer a broadest portfolio in the industry. It covers a full spectrum of rail solution, ranging from trains to subsystems, signaling. I work for the services division. So we do the maintenance, the operation, maintenance of way, So we do everything when it comes to rail transportation. Our revenue in the rail transportation, $8.5 billion US, 59% of it is in Europe, and 22% in North America. Our footprint in North America, I'm not gonna talk about every town that we're at, but you know, in Canada, we're in Vancouver with our services there division. We just won a 3P PPP contract in Edmonton. We're manufacturing cars in Thunder Bay. We're in Mississauga with our services headquarters, and Toronto to do all the maintenance operation for the GO Transit. We're in Eglinton, we're with the UP Express, we're in Montreal, so we have a footprint pretty much everywhere in Canada, and we also have our manufacturing plant as well in La Pocatière. So a couple of key strategic contracts that we recently were awarded. 21 Talent 3 trains for OBB in Austrian Railway. The one that we're most familiar is the 125 bi-level cars for Metrolinx. We talk often about the where the Thunder Bay plant had difficulty to deliver the light rail, but on the passenger car, I think that Bombardier, that Thunder Bay plant, we need to be proud of it, has been delivered on target since the beginning. And I know that I just heard that we're doing some partnership with ONR on some of the painting of our cars. So we do a lot of partnership like that. And we have the Flexity for Edmonton. That's a 3P partnership there. So in terms of the mobility solution, we provide rail vehicles. So we build cars, we build locomotive, we develop transportation system. We have our services division. As I mentioned, we do operation, we maintain the cars, the locomotive. We do overall, we have technology solution, material solution. So we do a lot of work in the services division. We have a rail control solution. We have propulsion and controls team there, and we have also a bogie solution as well. So we believe to be our game-changing innovation. We believe that they're shaping the market from the Zephyro very high-speed train to the monorail, and we even moved to the prime mover there, where it's the fully integrated system include fast inductive charging, long-life battery system, and efficient propulsion equipment. So all the objective, reduce the CO2 emission there. So we had a presentation a couple of years ago that was the climate is right for change. I just extracted 2 slides from that presentation, 2 that I believe are very important for Northern Ontario. The one of them in the challenge is the government are increasingly committing to long-term climate and energy goals. Obviously, the CO2 emissions target will not be reachable if individual traffic continues to grow. The solution is really the rail. I think everyone mentioned, I think in most of the presentation we're talking about it. The rail is the solution. We had a little statistic there. It's coming from Europe, but you can see the logic behind is 72% of the CO2 emission are coming from the road, while 0.6% are coming from the rail. So really the solution is the rail. Another challenge, aging of population, student accessibility. I think Ken was mentioning that kids don't drive anymore. My youngest kid is 20 years old. When he had his 18th birthday, I offered him to pay for his license. And his answer was, do you have anything else more useful for me? So he doesn't drive. Kids take the public transport, and they don't drive anymore. So, and the road, especially in winter condition. My first time that I drove to Northern Ontario, I met my first moose. I wish it would have been in a train that I met him and not on the side of the road. So the road are a challenge for us. So rail provide easily accessible and safe transport system to all age groups. So we talked about efficient environmentally and sustainable transportation mode. Bombardier has a team of engineers. We called it our Eco4 solution, but we have a team of engineers that constantly challenge what we're doing to optimize the energy use, to decrease the energy waste, to minimize the CO2 emission, to increase the economic value, to improve overall efficiency and total train performance. And one of the examples I can give is we have a new technology. It's called the BEDS technology. It's an energy driving assistance system. And basically what it does is it's kind of a little screen there that when the engineer is in the locomotive, it will tell you when he's the most efficient possible. And you can save up to 18 to 20% of fuel consumption. So we're working with one of our customers that spent $20 million in fuel, and all that fuel is driven into CO2 emission. Then if we can save them 20% in cost, it's also 20% in emission as well. So what do we do for our harsh winter? Especially this winter that's been not very nice with us. So we have our Regina train there, electrical train, running on Mount Bennen, the northmost track in Sweden, located above the Arctic Circle. The temperature were well below 25 degrees Celsius. So we have the technology that can go there. We're talking about efficient way to operate. Obviously, the electrical train are good. We have dual power locomotive. This is a picture that was taken in Montreal. Our ALP 45 suite of locomotive. We have the dual power, which is an AC system and diesel, so it can switch from diesel. And in Montreal, we operate on some network where we have electrical system till one station, and after that, there is no more electrical, so the locomotive goes on electrical up till the point where we don't have the infrastructure. Then we switch to diesel mode. We have the dual mode, which is a DC system, similar technology, but instead of it be an AC traction, it's DC system and diesel. We have a pure diesel electric locomotive, and we have the all electrical with AC system and DC system that are combined. Power can go from 3,100 kilowatt on diesel to 6,000 kilowatt when it works on electric. It's qualified for 125 miles per hour. It's fully redundant. It's fully FRA and Transport Canada compliant. And it is a diesel Tier 4 engine, so very low emission CO2 emission. So we have the bi-level car. I think that you guys are probably the most familiar. They are built in Thunder Bay. They're operated. We have a lot in Toronto. Obviously, our main customer is Go Transit in Toronto, but they're operated as well in Toronto, Vancouver, in 11 different cities in the United States. We have the multi-level car, which is designed and built for North American operation. It's operated in Montreal and Northeast United States, and they are FRA, APTA compliant, and ADA compliant, same as the bi-level car. And I think that's it. So thanks very much for your time, and good luck for your project.
I'm going to make an exception to the rule here, and that was because I was asked this question 1 week ago by somebody who wanted to come from Hearst and was unable to. Please ask Sylvain, unlike going to a grocery store where the boxes of cereal are on the shelf, how long would it take to put a train on the tracks?
That's a tricky question. It depends
Do
on
you
the
keep stock?
It depends on the technology you're using and if it's vehicles that we already have in production. As an example, we're talking about the ALP locomotive. It's built as we speak, so we're talking about 12 to 18 months to deliver locomotives. The cars, if we're using cars that are already on production, can be I would say in similar timelines.
So his response, because I told him that's what you were going to say, his response was basically, there must be stock available, as you mentioned, that would make do until Ontario North can get the best.